Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Hope House in Hazard is temporarily closed following threats to staff and people living there. And a central Kentucky community gathered to say goodbye to Savannah Spurlock after months of searching for the missing mother ended in tragedy. Plus, one woman is raising money for the family of a Knott County woman who died during childbirth over the weekend and has already exceeded her goal.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. Your time is 4:59 on Wednesday, July the 17th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. Well, yesterday was a warm one. Sweat even thinking about going outside. But today we might get just a brief relief from that heat, but we're going to pay for it. Brandon, give us the breakdown.
Yes, it's going to be raining, and it's already started in some areas this morning. Not too widespread yet, but as we take a look at the satellite and radar, it's out there and it's coming as we head through the day. Today we're going to see those remnants of what was once Hurricane Barry move into our region today. Some showers and storms down to the south there into parts of Laurel County, Knox County, over into Clay County already this morning, McCreary County. So we're seeing some of those coming through already. Some heavier bands of rain. Temperatures mild, and they're not going to move a whole lot. About 75 in some locations, anywhere between 70 and 75. Actually, a little warmer than that up toward Ashland and Logan at 77. So your out the door forecast features temperatures that are slowly going to slide today, getting up to right around 80 this afternoon before going down again tonight into the low 70s. I'll have the rest of that forecast coming up here in a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, we'll be back with you. Well, new this morning, we have learned that a sheriff's deputy that was shot last night in McCreary County is in critical condition. It happened just after 8 Tuesday night on Lick Creek Road north of Whitley City. The deputy and a constable who were not identified responded to a call when they found 48-year-old Mark Dungan in a car sitting outside his home. When the two approached him, he fired several shots at them before taking off, hitting the constable's patrol car head on. Now, troopers say Dungan was arrested in a nearby cemetery a short time later. The deputy was flown to the University of Tennessee Medical Center. The constable was not injured. We will continue to follow this story and hope to learn more soon. Now, also new this morning, one man is recovering following a crash in Pulaski County. It happened last night on Highway 196 in the Nancy community. Deputies say 59-year-old Ernest Larch was traveling west on the road hauling a boat when he lost control, hit an embankment, and flipped his truck. Larch was taken to Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital in Somerset for his injuries, which are not life-threatening. Police believe wet roads could be a factor in the crash. The Hope House in Hazard is temporarily closed this morning following threats towards staff and residents. This comes several days after a murder involving two people that had stayed there in the past. The threats included physical violence and that the facility should be burned. Police say they have already talked to some of the people that made the threats and charges are possible. Police and city officials decided it was best to relocate people staying at the Hope House for their safety.
We do take threats seriously, and our plan of action is to prosecute people that are making these threats. This is a tragic event that has happened in our community, and everyone is kind of taken aback from it, and we're just trying to keep everything under control.
Police say people making the threats could be charged with terroristic threatening. It is not known when the facility will reopen. Residents are expected to stay in Jessamine County until police and city officials decide it is safe for them to return. We also learned yesterday that the victim in the murder we referenced in our last story died after being stabbed. Investigators say this man, Anthony Lewis, killed Marlena Holland, hurt this past weekend at Bobby Davis Park. It is believed they met at the Hope House. He is now behind bars and has a long criminal history. Well, we now know the funeral arrangements for her. The visitation will be Thursday night from 6 until 9 p.m. at Ingle Bowling Funeral Home in Hazard. Her funeral will be Friday at 2 p.m. at the Consolidated Baptist Church, also in Hazard. Burial will follow at the Bush Cemetery in Pigeon Roost. Well, we have also heard there will be a candlelight vigil for her at Bobby Davis Park, but we have conflicting information about when that will take place. Once we have those firm details, we will post them on our website at WYMT.com. Meanwhile, Kentucky State Police are looking for a man who they believe is dangerous. They say this man, 37-year-old Charles Ray Blevins, shot and killed 44-year-old Adrian Smith earlier this month in Pike County. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher has the latest.
A city park is usually a safe place for families.
He was laying between the second and third posts back this way.
Since the shooting, the mini park in South Williamson has remained empty.
And there was a girl out there circling around, screaming and hollering, "Oh, he's killed, he's dead, he's dead."
Lonnie Ellis has lived near the park for 12 years.
There's traffic out there till 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning.
State police now believe this man, 37-year-old Charles Ray Blevins, is the man who shot Smith.
The warrant is for murder and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon.
State Trooper William Petrie says Blevins should be considered dangerous.
Well, if someone has already committed this act, they may be willing to hurt someone else to get free.
Plus, he may still have the gun used in the shooting.
As far as we know, he still had it when he left the scene.
Now, Ellis says he is worried to sit outside.
I'm getting scared here.
In Pike County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
If you have any information on the whereabouts of Charles Blevins, you can call Kentucky State Police Post 9 at 606-433-7711. Well, a central Kentucky community can finally say goodbye to Savannah Spurlock. Her body was discovered last week, buried in the back of a Garrett County home. She had been missing for 6 months. Her visitation drew hundreds from all over. They came to say their final goodbyes to the girl everyone called the life of the party.
Everyone remembers her family and that they teach, her babies how she was.
Family members tell us they will say their final goodbyes to Savannah during a private funeral. A Knott County mother died during childbirth Sunday. Morgan Hall died from complications related to HELLP syndrome, a rare pregnancy complication. One woman who went to school with Morgan organized a fundraiser to help the family. Their goal was $2,000, and they have already well exceeded that goal.
It's sad, but that's when people seem to come together most, is when tragedies like this happen.
Now all the funds will go to the funeral expenses. The rest of it will go to help the family who is still at UK Hospital with their newborn Noah. There's a celebration of life service for Morgan Hall at Heinemann Funeral Services tonight from 5 until 9 in the evening. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us right here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up in Washington, D.C., the nation began celebrating the 50th anniversary of the launch of the Apollo 11 in a big way.
It's going to be like that one song said today, "Here comes the rain again." The only difference this time, this will be some tropical moisture with the remnants of Hurricane Barry. I'll track them out for you in about 3 minutes.